There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the world no longer feels as solid as it once did. The things we chased, the identities we protected, the pleasures we celebrated suddenly begin to lose their certainty. A quiet question arises from within the heart. What is truly real? Sri Yukteswar Giri, Guru of Paramhans Yogananda, once revealed a profound truth about this stage of spiritual awakening. He said, when man becomes a little enlightened, he compares his experiences relating to the material creation gathered in the wakeful state with his experience in the dream, and understanding the latter to be merely ideas, begins to entertain doubts as to the substantial existence of the former. What a remarkable insight! Every night we dream. In our dreams, we laugh, cry, fear, desire, struggle, and believe completely in the reality unfolding before us. While dreaming, the experience feels utterly real, but upon awakening, we realize that the entire world of the dream existed only in the mind. And then comes the deeper realization. If dreams can appear real while they last, what about this waking world? This question is not born from pessimism, it is born from awakening. The spiritually awakening soul begins to perceive that everything in life is constantly changing. Youth fades, wealth disappears, relationships transform, bodies age, situations shift like clouds across the sky. Nothing remains, and because nothing remains, the soul begins to wonder. Can the temporary ever be the ultimate truth? This is the beginning of sacred inquiry. Most people move through life expecting appearances without question. They remain hypnotized by routine, by social conditioning, by the endless pursuit of temporary satisfaction. But the awakening soul cannot remain asleep anymore. Something within refuses to settle. Sri Yukteswar explains that when this inner questioning begins, man enters the consciousness of the Kshatriya, the spiritual warrior. Not a warrior who fights external enemies, but one who courageously battles ignorance, one who refuses to accept illusion as reality, one who seeks truth even when truth demands sacrifice. This stage is deeply important in spiritual life because many people imagine spirituality to be passive, soft, comfortable, effortless. But real spiritual growth requires tremendous courage to question everything you once believed, to stand apart from collective illusions, to examine your own ego honestly, to confront your fears, attachments, and desires. This is spiritual warfare, and every sincere seeker must pass through it. The soul begins to struggle between two worlds. One part still clings to the familiar patterns of material life. Another part longs for something eternal. One voice says, keep chasing the word. Another whispers, there's something higher waiting for you. This inner conflict is not failure, it is transformation. The butterfly struggles before emerging from the cocoon. The diamond forms under pressure, and the soul awakens through questioning. Sri Yukteswar says, his heart then becomes propelled to know the real nature of the universe, and struggling to clear his doubts, he seeks for evidence to determine what is truth. Notice that he says the heart becomes propelled. True spiritual seeking is not merely intellectual curiosity, it is a hunger of the soul, an ache from direct experience. At this stage, borrowed beliefs are no longer enough. Second hand spirituality no longer satisfies. The seeker wants to know, not because a scripture says so, not because society approves, but because the soul itself thirsts for reality. And this longing is sacred. Many people fear doubt, but spiritual doubt can become a doorway to higher wisdom. Blind belief keeps consciousness stagnant, but sincere inquiry opens the door to realization. The seeker begins observing life more deeply. He notices how emotions rise and fall, how thoughts come and go, how identities constantly change, and slowly a profound realization dawns. If everything observable changes, then perhaps the observer alone is real. Behind every experience, there is awareness. Behind every thought, there is consciousness. Behind every dream and every waking moment, there is the silent witness, the eternal self. This discovery changes everything. The seeker no longer lives merely for possessions or recognition. He begins turning inward. Meditation becomes meaningful. Silence becomes nourishing. Prayer becomes intimate. Nature begins to speak. Moments of stillness reveal glimpses of peace untouched by external circumstances. And slowly, the soul realizes that truth cannot be found merely through argument or philosophy. Truth must be experienced directly, personally, spiritually. This is why the path of Kshatriya is necessary. Without struggle, there is no depth. Without questioning, there is no awakening. Without courage, there is no transformation. Every saint, sage, and realized master passed through this fire. Even the great seekers of history wrestled with uncertainty before reaching illumination. The struggle itself purifies consciousness. Each disappointment with the world loosens attachment. Each inner battle strengthens discernment. Each sincere prayer opens the heart a little wider. And eventually, the seeker discovers something extraordinary. The truth he searched for was never far away. It was hidden beneath the noise of the restless mind, hidden beneath identification with the temporary self, hidden beneath attachment to illusion. The kingdom of truth was within all along. When the mind becomes quiet, when the ego softens, when awareness turns inward, the soul begins to feel its eternal nature. A peace not dependent on circumstances, a joy not created by possessions, a love that does not fade. This is the beginning of real knowledge, not intellectual knowledge, but living wisdom, the wisdom that liberates. Sri Yukteswar reminds us that this sacred struggle is not accidental. It is the natural duty of the awakening soul. And if you are questioning life more deeply, if the world no longer fully satisfies you, if your heart longs for something eternal, then perhaps your own inner warrior has already awakened. Do not fear the questions. Do not fear the struggle. The soul is not falling apart, it is awakening. May your doubts lead you to deeper truth. May your struggle become illumination. And may the light of divine awareness reveal the eternal reality hidden within your own soul. Because beyond every dream, beyond every illusion, beyond every changing form, there is only truth. And that truth is waiting to be realized within you. Jai Guru.